Hi, I'm George Hardy from ClickLearn. Thanks for joining me today for this somewhat longer video of ClickLearn for IFS Solutions. It will run approximately 10 to 12 minutes. It's the same video that your customers are going to see, except that it has a different soundtrack. In this video with this soundtrack, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and show you what we intend to do through this video, how we intend to excite your customers so that they want to see a full-length demo of ClickLearn, and then they'll want to get their hands on ClickLearn with the trial license. So let's see how that happens. First of all, we plant a question. What difference does ClickLearn make? And the answer given by an IFS ClickLearn customer, it's like night and day. So let's see how that happens. First of all, we explain our mission. We're an IFS Global and Platinum partner. We've been an IFS partner for 5 years. We've been named as a Global Partner of the Year each of those years. We have well over 250 IFS customers who are using ClickLearn today. Now we want to take your customer through the 8 solution overview, the 8 layers of value that ClickLearn delivers. The first one is definitely going to excite your customers because, in a sense, it doesn't make sense. ClickLearn is going to write the work instructions for you. How can that happen? It happens because ClickLearn can read IFS down to the field level. It can read every module, every screen, every shortcut. It can handle custom fields and full-scale customizations. So all your customer has to do is walk through a work process once with ClickLearn. ClickLearn is going to do the documentation. It will document each step, and it's going to give the end users consistent, high-quality work instructions, everything formatted to your customer's template. And then the payoff statement down here at the bottom, the IT and support teams are going to save 50 to 80% of the time that they've spent doing this manually in the past. A big payoff. The second level of value has to do with change, because of course, an IFS customer is always facing change. Every 3 years, IFS comes out with a new upgrade, and every quarter, IFS is issuing an update. And this requires testing, testing, and testing. We all know what it's like in a manual world, and when we show this slide to your customer, we expect them to get very excited. With ClickLearn, it's totally different. All you have to do is have your basically tell ClickLearn to replay all of your work process recordings in the test or dev upgrade version database. And then while you sit back and sip coffee, ClickLearn is going to run through all of those recordings in the upgrade version very quickly. It's going to grab all of the screenshots from the new version. And if IFS has made a change in the new version that invalidates or leaves hanging a step that you created, of course, for the current version, ClickLearn stops at that point, red flags it, shows you what is missing or what has changed. So you can just open the ClickLearn recorder, walk through the typically 1 to 3 steps it takes to connect up the last valid step from the current version to the next valid step in the new version, click Save and Produce, and you're ready to go. And then when it comes to testing the quarterly updates, we've created automated process testing. With this, your customers are going to be able to take the test scripts that they used to have to process manually and associate them with their ClickLearn work instructions and have ClickLearn run all of them, test all of them very quickly in the update test database. And ClickLearn is going to produce a detailed log, a detailed production log showing down to the second when every step was tested, whether it passed or it failed, and if it failed, what was the cause of the failure. That enables your customer to take this back to IFS if necessary and make sure that any problems get ironed out before they roll out the update to their prod database. When we get to level 3, now we leave IT and the support desk behind for a moment. Let's focus on what your customers and users are going to get from ClickLearn. ClickLearn is going to automatically produce work instructions in any of the languages that IFS has as an IFS user interface language, and in all of the formats I'm about to describe. First, we've got the classic version. That's the Word document, closely cropped screenshots for each step. And then we've got the PowerPoint slide deck and the PowerPoint handouts. We've got web pages and hyperlinks. And again, all of these are going to be available to your end users, your customers' end users, in their language. The fourth level of value is that ClickLearn also produces 3 levels of training videos. The training videos are playable on any device. They're written in pure HTML. And now they add text-to-speech narration to the work instructions. So the Show Me video does just what it says. If I work for your end customer, I'm going to be able to sit there, watch, and listen as ClickLearn shows me how to perform a work process that I'm interested in learning. And then with the Try Me video, it gets interactive. It's the same as the Show Me video, except that it won't move forward to the next step until I grab my mouse and click in the right location. So I watch, I do, and I learn. And then the Test Me videos will give your customers the answer to the question they've always had: how well do my end users actually know their IFS work instructions? With the Test Me videos, they can time and score your end users, and we can automatically create a SCORM compliant package of the test results to upload to an LMS, or we can provide the data outside of an LMS in many different ways. But best of all, from the perspective of your end users and also your support desk, is the live guide. This is an avatar who's going to pop up on top of your customer's end user's live IFS system and walk and talk your end users through every step of their work processes. That's why they're able to be productive from day one, from their first day on the job. And again, the live guide, the virtual assistant, will be speaking the language of the end user. So how is all of this made available to your customers' end users? And the answer is an embedded learning portal inside of IFS. The 7th level of value is that ClickLearn's capabilities don't stop at the borders of IFS. We read IFS with a version of ClickLearn that we call a connector. It's an application-specific connector. That's why we know IFS down to the field level. But we also have a number of other connectors. Some others are application-specific for applications such as Microsoft Office. And then we've got generic ClickLearn connectors for recording work process steps in Windows apps or in custom web apps. And best of all, perhaps, all of these connectors are smart. What I mean by that is that they know where you are, and they're always giving you a visual cue that they are automatically applying the right connector. So if I'm writing a work process, I'm documenting a work process in IFS, and I want to show my end user how to export the data from IFS into Excel, as soon as I do that export and I click into a cell in Excel, ClickLearn is going to put a green rectangle around the cell that I've clicked in, and it's going to show me the Excel logo. So I'm always being given visual confirmation. ClickLearn knows exactly where I am. All I have to know are my work process steps. Then the 8th level of value is that your customer's ClickLearn maintenance agreement gives them unlimited training, unlimited support. There are no hidden costs with ClickLearn. And then we've got the summary slide here for your customers so that we put it all together for them. What does ClickLearn do? ClickLearn helps 3 user groups, or maybe 3 levels of users and the value group inside of IFS. First, ClickLearn makes IT and support more successful. Second, it makes the IFS end users more successful through the uniform work instructions and the live guide. And then, of course, all of this translates at the company level into a higher and faster ROI in IFS. This slide is just to show your customers that IFS themselves are using ClickLearn internally. And now we've got a number of customer case studies. We add these because we don't want to be asking your customers to take everything that I've just shown and said based upon ClickLearn's statements. Instead, we've got these customer case studies. So here's CDF Corporation saying that with ClickLearn, it reduced the time it takes to document business processes by 50% compared to the manual process, and ClickLearn shortens the learning curve for end users and makes them more productive in version upgrades. It's useful, it's easy to master, it's almost a no-brainer. Multiplex is interesting. Now here we're focusing on the support desk. Multiplex says that the month after they rolled out ClickLearn tickets dropped by 33%, and since then, even as they've added more projects and more users, the percentage drop kept increasing. Multiplex is also interesting because when they implemented Apps 8, they did it the manual way. So here's Erin Peacock, who was the IFS Training Implementation Manager for Apps 8, and she's saying that when they implemented Apps 8 manually, they had 2 people working full-time for 6 months, and they could only create 40 sets of Word documents. These are the work instructions, and in only Word document format. And then after she purchased ClickLearn from us in November of 2016, she says that she, one person, in half that time, just 3 months, created 120 sets of work instructions in all of the ClickLearn formats. If you do the math, she's saying that with ClickLearn, she was 12 times as productive as they were doing it manually. And then we asked CDF to work with us and do a case study after we developed automated process testing. And here's Alex Ivkovich, the CIO at CDF, saying that they used APT to test the upgrade from Apps 9 Update 8 to Update 9. And here's the difference. Once they created the script, they could run the testing in 2 minutes with no user intervention, whereas when they did it manually, it would have taken 15 to 20 minutes. That's over an 80% time saving. And it's very clear that ClickLearn APT will provide a huge time savings when testing upgrade processes, as well as result in fewer upgrade issues. So finally, we come to this slide. We want to give your customer a no-cost try before you buy license. But even before that, we want to invite your customer to a live ClickLearn demo. That way they can see the full panorama of ClickLearn, get really excited about it, and then they can get their hands on a trial license. And with the trial license, of course, comes the same training and support that our customers get. That way, when your customer makes a decision to purchase ClickLearn, they can be very confident of the payoff they're going to get from ClickLearn, and of the not just of the payoff, but also of the safety of that investment. Well, thanks very much for joining me today. And the next step, of course, is for us to work with your customers and be able to show them the demo of ClickLearn.